Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Katie and it's been just about 2 years since I posted my last YouTube video. I cannot believe it's been 2 years. It feels like it went by in just a blink. But I'm really excited to be back. I promised myself I would start posting again in 2024, so we're making it in just under the wire. Today I'm going to be sharing some Christmas decor and DIY ideas, just things that I've been working on this season. I know we're coming right up on Christmas, but I thought it would be fun to share a really cozy, relaxing video so you can just see what I've been up to. I wanted to say a quick thank you to everyone who's reached out to me these past couple of years and asked if I'm okay. I really appreciate that. It actually motivated me to get back to posting again because it just showed me what a great community I've built over the last 10 years. And honestly, one of the reasons why I needed to take a break was because I have been posting for the last 10 years almost every week, and I was just feeling a little bit burnt out. I also had to deal with some stuff with a home renovation and some health things, but we're feeling good now and I'm really excited to get back to posting again in the new year. I also want to say that I have been posting on Instagram and TikTok pretty continuously, so if you guys are on those platforms, you can follow me over there. But let's go ahead and get started on these projects. If you've been following me for a little while, then you might remember my dried orange garland that I made a few years back. That is still my pride and joy. I hang it up every year. It has lasted so well. So this year I wanted to try a citrus garland using a few different types of fruit. So I got oranges, grapefruit, limes, and lemons, and I sliced them all up and they looked beautiful. I could not wait to see how these were going to turn out once they were baked and dehydrated. So I like to use a cooling rack on top of my baking sheet, and I just laid everything out and I tried to squish as much as I could onto this pan, but in the end I ended up having to do 2 batches of this, and I'll pop them in the oven at 250 for about 3 to 4 hours, but I'll start with an hour and a half, and then once the timer goes off, I usually will flip them. Now, I just wanted to say here, no waste. Anything that I'm not using, all the little end pieces, I put inside a pot with some cinnamon sticks and whole cloves, and I make a little simmer pot. You just simmer it, keep adding some water, and it makes your whole house smell so delicious. So like I said, halfway through, after an hour and a half, I flipped all of these over, then I set it for another hour and a half. And while all of that was happening, I decided to also create some air dry clay Christmas trees to go with my garland. This is the clay I use. It's the Crayola 5-pound tub. I've been using this forever. It's my favorite, and I use a wood rolling pin. And I just roll out a big chunk of clay, and I kind of just eyeball it. I never really measure it or anything. I just try to make sure I have enough for my project. So I used this tiny Christmas tree cookie cutter. I got it in a set of Christmas cookie cutters, and I always just use them when I'm working on clay projects. So this is kind of the difficult part. You have to squeeze your cookie cutter a little bit to get the clay out without getting it all misshapen. So I did that, and then I used some water to smooth out any cracks or bumps. Just don't use a ton of water because that could result in more cracks when it dries. Sometimes I like to use a little paintbrush as well, and it just helps to kind of smooth it out and make its shape perfect, or as perfect as possible. This is what it looks like after it has been smoothed out. And then I took a yarn needle and I poked holes in them because I want to hang them on my garland. So you want to do this before they dry. So just make sure that you're doing this step while the clay is still soft. After 2 days, it was completely dry, and I mixed together a few different colors of green acrylic paint and set out to painting my trees. And I always just use regular acrylic craft paint. I get that question a lot for what type of paint to use on air dry clay, and for me, that's always been the best option. Once they were dry, I flipped them over and I painted the other side because this is going to be on my garland, so you might see the other side. So I decided to just paint both sides. And I decided to do this really fun, simple yellow dot pattern to kind of look like ornaments or Christmas lights, and I painted the stars as well. I seal mine with polyurethane. I like to put a lot on because it makes it really shiny, and I think that it seals it and prevents cracking as well. To finish it all off, I strung it together using a needle and some gold thread. And I wanted to mention, you want to let your fruit dry out for a couple days on the counter, or at least a day after it's done baking, just to get all of the moisture out. But I was really happy with how this turned out. I was a little bit nervous to see how each of the fruits turned out after they'd been dried, but they were all so vibrant and beautiful, and this is easily my favorite piece that I made this year. I've been so into crafting with clay these past couple of years, and I thought it would be really fun to make my own napkin rings or napkin holders. So I got some polymer clay and I just broke it in half, just one package, and then I rolled out each half into this sort of oval shape. Now I've been really loving having texture sheets for my clay. You can get these at the craft store, you can get them on Amazon, I'll link some below for you guys. But I think they just add a really fun contrast and texture to my clay pieces. So I decided to go with this one. It's kind of like a leaf pattern, and I pressed it into my clay and then I used my roller, and you've got to press pretty hard to get that texture on there. I actually didn't press hard enough the first time and kind of missed part of the clay, but just make sure you roll it out and press down really well. Once that was done, I folded the clay backwards and I just pressed the ends together, and polymer clay will stick to itself, so you don't have to use any sort of glue or adhesive or anything like that. You can just press the ends together, and then this is what it looked like. And I baked it according to the package instructions. It's usually 275 degrees Fahrenheit for about 15 minutes. Now I wanted to do a base coat of darker paint, so I just mixed together a few colors of acrylic paint and came up with this sort of brownish coppery color. Then I went in with some rub and buff, which is one of my favorite ways to make things look metallic. I cannot get over the effect that this has on my clay pieces. It just looks so cool. It looks so realistic, like real metal. And this was so fun to create. I think this would be great not only for the holidays, but anytime you're hosting. It's so fun to be able to have guests use something and then say that you made it yourself. Okay, so that is it. Thank you so much for watching. I haven't done this in a while, but let me know in the comments below which one of these two projects was your favorite. I also wanted to say, if you have any video requests or ideas of what you want to see from me in the next year, let me know in the comments. Like, do you want to see thrifting videos? Do you want to see IKEA hacks? I haven't done those in a while. Do you want to see more clay projects? Anything that you can think of that you'd like to see me create and post on this channel, let me know, because it's been a while and I want to make videos that you guys want to watch. I hope you guys have an amazing holiday season, and I'm hoping to post in the new year like once every couple of weeks, maybe once a month. It definitely won't be every week. I'm probably not going to go back to that, but I'll try to do like every other week if I can. And thank you again for sticking around. I'm going to make a big goal for myself this year. I really want to hit 100,000 subscribers. That was a goal of mine for a while before I stopped posting, and obviously not posting wasn't helping that. But this year, I really want to get back into being more consistent and make videos that you guys want to see. I'm so happy to be back, and I'll see you guys in my next video.